بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وبعد. In our religion we have basic belief that nobody is perfect, and if anybody said something against the logic or against the Quran, we'll have an excuse for him that he's not perfect and he could make a mistake. But if we trust his Iman, we will not go and attack his faith to say, Wallah, he is munafiq, or he is kafir, or he intend to do that. No, because we've been learned as Muslims, if you trust his Iman, you have to excuse him, because we believe that nobody is perfect and he could make a mistake. So we should not start yelling or cursing or put any person down because he said something wrong. Why? Number one, we are not very sure that he said it or not. They said or they claimed that, for example, Imam Abu Hanifah said 1, 2, 3. 100% we don't know. But according to their claiming, that's fine. If he said something and what he said, it wasn't correct, we can excuse him that he is not perfect. Number two, maybe he doesn't know what the hadith said, what Prophet Muhammad said, because in his time, no communication like this. There is no internet, no transportation between cities. He used to live in Baghdad, and Baghdad is far away from Medina, so we can excuse him. So this is number one. Number two, in the school of thought that we says, this is the school of Al-Ahnaf, school of Shafi'iyya, school of Al-Hanabila, school of Al-Malikiyya, sorry. We have the following. I want you to be aware about the following. We have the view of the Imam, and we have the adoption of the school. Not all the school of Ahnaf thought that they adopted it was the words of Abu Hanifah. A lot of scholars came after him, like Abu Yusuf, like Zufar, very famous scholars. They came, and a lot of students, they came after him, and they create the Hanafi school of thought, and they adopted certain ideas or certain fatwa, but we refer to Al-Ahnaf school, not Abu Hanifa himself. This is number two. Number three, in any school of thought, we have big ulama, and we have students, and we have people has experience, people that don't have experience. I will not blame the teacher if one of his students, he said something wrong, because the student didn't say, my teacher told me the following. He didn't say this. He said, this is my what? My thinking, or this is my opinion. It will, you will put it in its limit. This is the school of Al-Ahnaf opinion, not Abu Hanifa himself opinion. You got it, Ikhwani? Abu Hanifa, he wrote no books. There is nothing here in our history book being written by Abu Hanifa. Nothing. Abu Hanifa, he used to teach, and the students of Abu Hanifa, they wrote down what they've been learned from him. So this is very important. The mistake of my son or my daughter, it's not my mistake. This is his opinion. Same thing with the school of thought in our history. For that reason, you will hear here or there, hey, what kind of Imam? Because they said, if you believe that we have mistakes in the school of thought of Ahnaf, and some opinions, it's far away from even the logic, and even sometimes you've been shy to say it. They said, if this is correct, why you said Abu Hanifa is Imam and you follow him if you agree that his school has the following opinions? How we can answer them? Wait a minute. Nobody is perfect. This is number one. We have in the school of thought of Al-Ahnaf, Abu Hanifa, and a lot of people came after him and they adopt certain opinions and they put it in the same package, Al-Ahnaf package, so we can't blame the Imam. If one of his students or more, they said something not correct. The last thing before we finish, Abu Hanifa radiyallahu anhu warda himself, he said, "Oh my ummah, oh my brothers, oh my sisters, oh my students, what you received from me, it's my ijtihad, based on the input that I have, based on the knowledge that I have. If in the future my opinion came against or clash with the hadith or the Quran, throw my opinion to the ocean." Don't say Abu Hanifa said. He said this to us, so he was what? He clarified his situation from day one. So if you want to follow him in this kind of way, in this kind of beautiful line to where to take, where not to take. But I can't go now and start what? Say, hey, how you believe in this man as Imam while we have this in his school? Does not even goes with any piece of knowledge or logic or law in the human being. Clear inshallah ikhwani? So radiyallahu an Abi Hanifa wa an our ulama, and may Allah bless them and reward them inshallah. And nobody is perfect. We do a lot of mistakes, sometimes accidentally, sometimes we don't know all the information. I go based on what I know, what I have, and Allah knows everything, Allah knows the better. But as Muslims, we've been told in the Quran, وَالَّذِينَ جَاءُوا مِن بَعْدِهِمْ, and those who came after the previous mu'mineen, what we have to say, يَقُولُونَ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ. This is the command from Allah, to ask Allah to forgive you and to forgive those that they came before you in Iman. That's our duty, and that's stop. If there is something wrong, Allah knows about it, and Allah Azza wa Jal, Rahman Rahim, and He is the one who will question and ask the people, not us. We ask Allah for all of us to be in the right way, in our aqidah, in our iman, our faith, and to keep our heart clean and clear from having any bad thing against any mu'min, inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.